Hi everyone, in this video today I'm talking about a project that I recently completed. The project is called Nick for Names. It's a small web app. It's nothing, it's not nothing spectacular. It's very simple. It just shows you uh, people names. You can add nicknames to it. You can add multiple nicknames to a person, and then you can go ahead and people can rate your nicknames. And so yeah, that's the main idea, is to learn new things, to implement new things. Maybe you are learning a new programming language like Go or Rust. So I am the kind of a guy who get lost very fast, and so I prepared myself a small presentation to so that I can stay on the track. So the title page, AI will not complete itself. The idea is like, just try to get your projects out there. Try to learn what other aspects of it rather than just a POC or a pilot. I had this weird idea, okay, I want to deploy my application on a VM, and I want to see whether how the application will perform. I'll keep the database on the VM and the application on the VM. So the next thing was either do a small POC, like make a small page, a dirty page, and or an idea, right? So nicknames was born. I was like, okay, let's do something very, very simple, right? So it just stores the name, saves the name, it stores your nicknames, and I try to keep the features count very, very low. For example, there is just my list. The idea is if you add a person, it'll be visible to everyone. My list is you can star some people so that you can track those and their journey. And obviously you can add a nickname, and once you add that nickname, it will be visible to everyone, and people, if someone knows LinkedIn, they can come here and then they can rank those nicknames. So higher ranking nicknames will appear here, and then it's important to nail down the architecture at an early stage. And when I talk about architecture, I concentrate on these aspects of the application, right? How many components do you have, whether it's a single stack application or a multi-stack application, whether you want it to be scalable or not, security, and security of all the components, and then how will they be communicating with each other. So network and security are somehow very, very closely related. If you are going for a cloud provider, they do provide services like VPN, API management, and you should try to utilize all of those things, and will make your life very, very easy. So this is a sort of a representation of the architecture diagram for this particular application. Front end is, in this scenario, it's a static website that is hosted on Firebase. Similarly, you can use any of the cloud services to host your static application, right? Now, backend in this scenario is a Node.js application, right? So depending on where you are hosting your application, either the endpoints will be provided naturally by the hosting service provider. I think Azure does that. Even Google App Engine has inbuilt service where it recognizes the server and then it exposes those endpoints as well. So if you are using those, life is easy. If in my case, I wanted to host the application on a virtual machine, wrapped it up in Docker for deployment, and reverse proxy, either you can use nginx or I'm using Carry in this scenario. And then you want to make sure your reverse proxy has a DNS, the same DNS is attached to it. That way the browser will not throw a lot of errors. And you can create subdomains so to make the API conversation easy, and all the configuration can reside at one place. AI will spin up an API, it will lose the context from front end to back end. Either it was working on the back end or the front end, and then and another thing that you might have seen is that for a 20 line of code that you'll write, AI will write like a 40 lines of code. So it adds to your mental fatigue of verifying the application. So just some things to bear in mind. The database is a simple MySQL database, and again, it is being Dockerized as well. And because I'm sharing that with multiple applications, small applications at this point, the VM is like a 2 GB, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, I think. And that is sufficient for my application. The application is secure in a way where I can restrict the inbound traffic, and The deployment is easy. AI was providing the solutions, but those solutions were too complicated, or they were not suiting the needs. And there was too much to tell the AI, okay, this is the front end, this is the back end. Even though I was using the agents.md file, still it was stumbling on that steps. So once you have nailed down your strategy, make sure it is ready to be redeployed as well. So here I am using Docker, and to me, I'm familiar with it. It's easier for me. There's just one single file. I don't have to change it. I just have to follow those 3 steps every time. Keep it simple, keep it straightforward, and AI is very good at writing Docker files. And that's something you can easily validate as well. So that was deployment. Right, GTM, go to market, be a good salesman. And this is the last section of the application actually, and the most important one. Once you have done everything, nobody is going to just appear out of nowhere and start using your application. You have to invest a lot of time and energy and sometimes money to make sure that your application is seen, it's used, it's so hopefully in this video I was able to explain like the process of creating this application, the challenges that I faced. AI is amazing and it'll help you, do a lot of things that used to take a lot of time. And now you can at least know what kind of error it is and where it's what is not working. So thank you. In case you have any questions, feel free to write down below, and yeah, enjoy the application. It's live. I'll drop the URL down below. Thank you.